Weird motherfuckers now. Just looks weird, that whole formation. It's a group of people. Can't capture them on tape. That's mad assembled. I want to talk about something that happened last night. It just doesn't look right. So I ended up in Santa Muerte's hell realm. And I'm going to say this, before in the past, I actually defeated her. It's in part because I'm part of Baron Samity's bloodline, I heard. And also who I am. I'm going to talk about, I got 10 of Swords. I'm going to talk about what happened. Also to update y'all on knowledge of frequency. If you want to travel, time travel, like it's shown in that film, The Butterfly Effect, your timelines exist. They start within and then extend out, as I've learned during this whole thing. With that being said, add zeros, as many as you can, the more the better, in front of or and after 1523 hertz. You may want to do this with 1532 hertz as well, and then take the frequencies and combine them. You know, you just do the same thing with 1532 hertz, 0, 0, 0, 0, front, 0, 0, 0, and back, and you got a veritable wish frequency to be able to travel. I heard with that literally could allow you to not disassociate, And I don't want to say depersonalize because that's psychological. But I don't want to say disintegrate. But to dematerialize and possibly teleport to a different realm. Since your timelines start within, your interconnections to the world and all of that, it starts within. Mine's had swords. It's gotten even worse. I barely have any, so I got to fix it. That's why I was playing, if there's blocks, people blocking where you at in the astral plane, you can use 1150 hertz to get stuff back. I just added zeros for mine. Also 1171 hertz. I keep seeing flies. I'm going to say something right now. Somebody was showing a video of a CNN report. It was a female a long time ago with a bunch of flies leaving her eye. Those are actually aspects of the primordial darkness created by Satan that's meant to keep you intact. It's called black goo.
So one thing like that. I like so one thing like that. I like
Yeah, family, that's the black goo right there, fam. Yep, the symbiote, the brain parasite. Yeah, man, that's it right there. The assimilator. Let's go. Bang, bang.
When that starts to leave you, I've had this during this spiritual experience as well as with others where, you see a fly roving around and then they vanish in midair. Evanescence, that's oftentimes a sign of a material building block loss. Like the stuff, the matter that makes you. I don't want to say antimatter. I think antimatter is black as well. Everything comes from black, just like it comes from the people. But with that being said, 1523 hertz has zeros in the front and the end for teleportation, as well as 15, and possibly you don't have to add it with that frequency. 1523 hertz and then 15, you don't have to add 1532 hertz. It's more wish. But the other one is 1523 hertz. And there's a bunch of frequencies that allow you to be able to astral project. But anyways, last night was insane. Right before I went to bed, I started getting caught up, in my head, and, sometimes you just, I'm a Taurus, take the bull by the horns, as they say. I was playing to try to figure out what the fuck was going on. Well, I was playing the Santa Muerte meditation. I think that's the silliest thing for a fucking topa, is to have a meditation for her. Someone was telling me, do the Baron Samedi one, but, with my etheric body being all out of whack, I actually had to play 1150 hertz with a bunch of zeros, as well as 3002 hertz early this morning to get shit back, because the spirit team is down to molecules. That's not good. I'm going to have to rebuild them. With that being said, I felt a thinness with my etheric body. Now, the way Santa Muerte works is, I'm going to say something right now. It's probably Maria Tavares, like when I saw the other night, like Cassandra Nunez or Maria Blanco. After stealing a lot of his soul consciousness, the voodoo lowers will come at you in the physical plane. They will come at you in vivid 3D. They don't fucking play. And that's scary for a lot of people. I've seen a lot of fucking things, including giant cockroaches, which I didn't realize were going to be my parents in the future. stuck in the roach realm. You know, like I say, during Astro World, I would hear my parents astral project. And I would hear my family. You know, you can use 125 hertz, free people from hell realms. I, as a matter of fact, recently saw my father in the form of a giant cockroach, you know, and he got eviscerated. 1185 hertz transmutes hell realms, 156 hertz frees people from spirit jars. I caught in after August 22nd, 2022. One day up. Now, with that being said, my poor daddy, I can hear them when they were told by a Native American dude, welcome to hell. And they ended up in the roach realm. They were there for 5 months. I didn't know it. You know, when I had ancestors come to try to help me out, I saw my parents in them timelines, you know, as ancestors. In one where they had no soul consciousness. And I heard the Illuminati timelines for them start with Adam Weishaupt. I think that they were in the consciousness of this Maria Blanco or Cassandra Nunez or Nathan or David Rothschild. They got teleported into non-existence. And there's ways to pull somebody back. 4200 hertz can change somebody back from being a real entity, the Illuminati, in that August 22nd, 2022 timeline. Did that to my parents. That's how you can materially change them back. And and to take somebody from non-existence, 3517 hertz, 3571 hertz, 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz. Because regardless, you know, entity attachments of your ancestors' family and all that lives in your bones, even if you get cremated after you die, including the ancestors' family, future descendants. So you can always get your shit back, especially with that 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz, which revitalizes dead bodies. With that being said, 3517 hertz revives spirit bodies. Because I get my timelines taken out of me so often, you know, it's hard to get my shit back. I had to play a frequency, try to get my stuff back early this morning, you know, because I'll get inundated with, or after turning my shit into, you know, I was showing in that timeline where she's physical, should be turning, she'd be putting her own entity attachments to block me from getting my shit back. But you can always get it back 295 combined with 695 hertz, add zeros at the front and beginning, and 295 hertz, 446 hertz, along with 295 hertz. With that being said, You know, it's not too hard to handle something like that. Because I'm not going to let something boss me around in my own body. Because this is my body. With that being said, I saw Miss Maria Tavares eviscerate my dad in the roach farm, as well as try to do that to my mother, who was still fucked up. I remember having a dream, an astrovision rather, of her stuck in the roach-infested version of Oxnard Hospital. In conjunction, I remember when I was 8 years old having a vision of my dad stuck in the roach-infested version, you know, where they eat humans, just like it's shown in that film, The Nest, a long time ago, of our childhood home. With that being said, the thing you know, anyways, you know, in my old childhood home, I don't, you know, I'm going to repeat what I said if I didn't say it already. With that being said, I remember me having a vision of my mother at Oxnard Hospital in the roach-infested version. So going back to May, you know, August 22nd, 2022, you know, something happened. They're not in their bodies. I remember that they had a Native American shaman saying something to the effect of, "Welcome to hell." And from what I understand, they were trapped in a roach-infested hell realm with giant cockroaches eating on them and everything for 5 months. And you can use 125 hertz, 1185 hertz transmutes to free people from hell realms, 156 hertz, which happened to me after August 22nd, 2022, spirit jars, 3517 hertz along with 3571 hertz helps people get out of hell realms. 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz helps revive physical bodies, and because entity attachments of your ancestors and all of that live on, even if you get cremated in your body, your bones and all of that, including your descendants, ancestors included as well, you can always get your shit back with that frequency. That can't really be fucked with. With that being said, I remember seeing, you know, my parents in that, you know, going back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline. My father is a giant cockroach. My mother is stuck in the roach realm. My, you know, another timeline where, you know, where my dad, they were barely their soul consciousness. And I heard my mother gets cut up every single day. And from what I understand, they're living in the consciousnesses of either Nathan Rothschild or David Rothschild. I'm just trying to remember what I need to remember. If I didn't say that before. Anyways, I remember when they got turned into Braille, 4200 hertz can change them back from being Braille entities. Those are people placed in hell realms by the Illuminati. You can use 125 hertz to remove the demons that get placed around the crown chakras of those like Kodak Black and all of that, who've been soul swapped. With that being said, it's a lot of I hear this bitch going, shh, I gotta kill this bitch. There's no other motherfucking way. I felt her take a body part off of me right now, just now. So I gotta do something about it, you know, from what I understand, from what I saw, I have to take her out in the physical plane. And there was something else I was ruminating on, and I thought that the camera was rolling. But with that being said, I remember seeing my parents as ancestors one night. And this Maria Tavares and Maria Blanco, or Cassandra Nunez, killed them off. And tried to kill off my mother, but my mother had more protection. My dad, having been stuck in the roach realm for a long time, got killed off instantly and dismissed. But you can always use 3517 hertz to change somebody back. You know, 694, 695 hertz, like I said in that video yesterday with the guy who was got teleported into a hell realm. I actually saw him around necromancer demons. I talked about it here, where the idea of KKK hats come from. I saw back in 2016, they actually do the sound. They, you know, like with the Berg-aware entities, they protect the four corners of the earth. the elements, and they protect us from the parasitic entities that circumvent the material plane here. Ran by Sophia, I believe. Now, with that being said, there was something else I wanted to ruminate on, but I totally forgot. I gotta get my shit today. I'm gonna be playing at 1150 hertz and 3002 hertz. Try to get my shit back from her. But she got something, you know, a couple of things that using to try to fuck me up. That's why I have to do something about it. I saw that the other day. She's fully physical. She, you know, puts entity attachments that's designed to keep me from getting my shit back, which is dangerous. You know, it's playing certain frequencies to subdue that. You know, damned if I do. But anyways, it's just, from what I know and experience, especially with my parents, it's hellish. And I keep getting, you know, removed from them timelines. And from what I understand, I think she took some of my timelines. There was one where it welcomed me back into the world of the living. I think I'm hopefully got that back. I don't know. So let's talk about Santa Muerte. So last night, that bitch is getting to the point where she's manifesting physically. And that's very, very scary. And I feel her moving the back of my head, you know, my poor spirit team, they're down the molecules, so I don't have much of a spirit team. I got to carry them through. With that being said, I listened to the meditation, tried to find where she is in the astral plane, along with this Cassandra Nunez, and fuck her up and take her out and get rid of her. So, thinking I was getting my shit back, my spirit team back. I remember at one point, she had taken over the consciousness of my highest self. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, white woman. Actually, green eyes. I went to sleep. I kept falling into a situation where a dream, I almost started waking up in a dream. You don't ever want that. That means something's trying to pull you into a hell realm. And that's exactly what was happening. I was in seemingly my bed and then somebody else's room and bedroom. And I was wandering, trying to figure out how the fuck to get out. And so I noticed at every step, Santa Muerte trying to pull me in. It happened before with her where I defeated her. And that's because I'm part of Baron Samley's bloodline. With that being said, she kept trying to pull me in. And I remember almost waking up in her hell realm that looked like here, but I knew it wasn't. And that's happened before scarily. But I was able to defeat her. At one point, I pulled up my 25-pound dumbbell. I used to boast about having this on the PCH. See if I can, oh shit, there. 25-pound dumbbell and hit her ass with it. And I was able to come to and wake up. You know, I was able to get some of my stuff back using frequency. And I had help, I think, from a child spirit guy. I don't know. I know I kept banging her with that. I just grabbed that. I'm like, nah, I'm tired of it. Pop, pop, pop! Bam, bam, bam! Like Thor. Or a boom. Playing with that wetback topa bitch. That farce deity, I call it. Like I said in the past, she tried going to Patrick Swayze and was offering him money. She trying to turn me, because I'm black, along with Baron Samedi, into a sacrifice to get him to become the next Santa Muerte so they could have me to him. And they just took our shit with no respect. That's why I don't fuck with them wetbacks. Not a big fan of them. If something not right, you look at their creator gods. Quetzalcoatl was shapeshifted into a white man. That's their demiurge. That's why they're at odds with blacks. I don't really care for them people. With that being said, I had another nightmare, astral vision, where I got pulled into a hell realm. And I saw somebody at Foot Locker that got pulled in. And I felt like I was next. And I just started beating the bitch's ass. I was teleporting quick. I was woking myself out. It's like, you ain't getting me. And I think he was trying to pull me into her realm or help me get out. I'm not really sure. But I felt myself being pulled into a realm. So when I woke up, a few rogue spirits that's around me, I'm trying to get them back. 3002 hertz, 295 combined with 695 hertz. 446 hertz can get them back. With that being said, trying to remove them because they typed in my timeline. With that being said, I called, I remember waking up and them saying, you're in Santa Muerte's hell realm and you're no longer in your body. I keep getting removed out my body. It happened on July the 23rd, 2025. You know, I heard these people were involved in trying to sell me the sacrifice of Santa Muerte or some shit. Frankincense and myrrh. My Florida water. I was told I keep wearing the frankincense and myrrh for some odd reason. It's going to pull me into her hell realm. You know, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. With that being said, you know, that's when I went back to sleep, had the second vision. I was beating the ass with the 25-pound dumbbell. And as usual, you know, I have to go on a hellish chase to get my shit back. You know, I woke up in the middle of the night with them trying to steal Baron Samedi from within, use 694, 695 hertz, you know, 3517, 3571, really, 295, 295 combined with 695 hertz, 446 hertz, 3002 hertz to get shit back, zeros at the front of the beginning, 1150 hertz. Nah, this bitch is tormenting me. She fucking with me really, really, really bad. Really fucking bad. You know, I had a higher self that's connected to my mother say, you just take a day off, don't do a video, and just, you know, use your frequency to try to pull your shit back in. I've done that in the past, but with that being... With that being said, you know, speaking of which, I had another astral vision. It reminded me of an astral vision where I got pulled into a hell room and I had rose spirits pull me out. But it was, I saw Dan Ackroyd there. He's a follower, from what I understand, of Baron Samity. And, his crystal skull vodka is actually based off of him. I'm going to say this right now. I don't want these wetbacks stealing our ancestral black magic. They're nothing like us. They're not like the rest of humanity. They're governed and were created by Satan through their entity attachments like Quetzalcoatl, Oxycodal, Tuacan, and all of that. Plane. They come strictly from the primordial darkness, but that's not really bad because light comes from it. Everything comes from it. Life comes from it. So with that being said, I was able to easily defeat her and take her out. They kept trying to find where Baron Samity was, but steal his shit. So I got to shut that down today. I got to rebuild myself. I got to put myself back together. I'm not saying so down, even my highest self, down to being subatomic particles. So I have to take matters into my own hands. Like I say, she's starting to materialize. I saw that last night, the other day, where she dropped a piece of hair in the bathtub, and I saw it materialize from out of nowhere, and that killed me. And like I said, on May the 1st, 2024, in that timeline, she's somewhere in the spirit plane. There was something I wanted to share, I wanted to say, but I totally forgot. So much shit I gotta do today. It's not even funny. Building myself back together is one of them. This is his colors. Low key, didn't even know it. I wanted to mention, I heard recently with my parents in that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, this is what I wanted to say. Eviscerate my parents into nothingness. You can always use 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz. Zeros at the front and end, beginning. Do that with 3517 hertz, 3571 hertz to get people back. Especially 117 combined with 800 hertz. The thing is that entity attachments of your ancestors and all of that, body parts, astral body parts, always live on in the physical, no matter what happens. You can get cremated, and they live in your descendants as well as ancestors. That kills me to see the fate of my parents, but I'm going to take care of it. You know, the spirit team is too fucked up and compromised for me to deal with them. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and do these cards. I'm so tired. Very, very tired. I was whipping that bitch's ass with that 25-pound dumbbell. I wasn't playing around. Look at the motherfuckers. Whooped the ass right out. She thought, oh, I could tell you, bitch, get out of here. You got God within frequency. So anyways, the energy you're sitting in right now, the obstacle position is 9 of Wands. You're sitting in the place where it's nefarious and you're facing a lot of blockages. You're going through a lot of hell. And to some large degree, it's actually unnecessary. Current position, we got the Star. And I see you breaking a lot of obstacles and owning your power. Taking shit over. And just removing the motherfucker that's incompetent from the lead. The Hermit is where you will be in the future. And I see you failing, but going into a place of deep contemplation, trying to figure out what the fuck you need to do. Queen of Pentacles is a subconscious. And I feel that you feel you were in a good place because you're in a place of self-empowerment. But don't get lax. Don't fall for deception. Don't get lackadaisical. I'm tired of it. Judgment is where you will be going. You will have... That's your goal. A lot of motherfuckers caping for you. I'm going to say something right now. I keep getting pulled out of my body. With this shit, you can use 295 hertz, 695 hertz, combined with 295 hertz. Really, it's inverse. 295 combined with 695. 446 hertz. At zeros at front, beginning, and ending. Put somebody back. She fucking with my frequency somewhere. Those are very powerful numbers. 3002 hertz is also a very powerful number. That's why I got to get this in true to owl eye. Spirit team can't do it anymore, so I got to do it. I'm mother was going to get a tea tree oil that eviscerate that bitch. It's hoping the frankincense and myrrh could do it, but advice card, the Tower. And I feel that something is telling you, take your mistakes and build up from them. Two of Swords is the energy that's all around you. There's a lot of blocks and obstacles facing you in your path. A lot of people pushing that. Kind of like the Foot Locker guy I saw last night. Like, this bitch is a fucking topa, a farce of a deity. She doesn't exist except in the Mexican and South American. Excluding Brazil, I like them people. I especially like the blacks over there. They're very pro-black. Over soul consciousness. She ain't nothing to get rid of. You wear your frankincense and myrrh. I heard for, Mexicans and all that, black tourmaline isn't that effective, but still get that shit. It ran her and that Maria Tavares the fuck out. Black kyanite, meaning natural energy vampires. Black kyanite can do the same, but not as effectively as black tourmaline. Obsidian don't work that well as well. Six of Pentacles is the energy you are headed in. It's your fears and your hopes card. I see you getting a lot of help. You don't see it coming. And it's going to be divine intervention. It has to happen. Queen of Swords is the outcome. Queen of Wands. I see you sitting pretty in a very good position. But beware that, trickery. With that being said, if you want a more personalized reading, I got to get my shit back together. I got to get my third eye back together. Get all my stuff back. That being said, if you want a more personalized reading, please contact me at ravenbytaylor22@yahoo.com. Peace.